Mr. Goose.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to What the Fuck Is This Podcast? And as you might be thinking, what the fuck happened to us? A lot has happened. The name of the podcast explains it. We've been going through some really, really big changes recently. I just moved back to Texas. Oh, I'm one of your hosts, Monica.
I'm Miranda.
And I just moved back to... Oh, yeah, and Goose. And I just moved back to Texas, so we had, like, a transitional period.
Yes.
And then Miranda has some stuff going on in her life that, if she wants to, she can tell you about.
Yeah. I'll tell everybody. When it's my turn, I can wait.
Oh.
We can get through the intros.
Well, that's it. I'm back in Texas, living back with my parents for a almost 25-year-old lady. It's amazing. My mom cooks dinner every night. No fucking complaints. Amazing. Sometimes I don't like what she makes, but that's
You're
another
not
story.
getting nickeled and dimed for Aldi.
Literally, no. And then my mom makes some of the food that, like, it's my sister's favorite. I used to live with my sister, for those of you that don't know. And I'll be sending my sister Snapchats. I'm like, maybe it's a good thing I moved back in. But yeah, I'm still haven't finished packing. I still have like 2 big boxes of clothes. I didn't realize I had this much clothes. And I literally have this closet filled, and there's another one on that side. Oh, I can show you. That one, they're filled to the brim with clothes.
Oh my god.
And then I have a dresser that's also filled with clothes.
Oh my god.
So I just haven't been taking it out of the boxes because I'm lazy and I don't know where to put it.
Yeah.
But
fair enough.
that's it for me for right now.
Fair enough.
Lay his ass down!
The door is closed. Anyway, on that note, no, I'm kidding. But okay, I did not move or anything like that. In fact, okay, it was kind of planned, but like not really. We will be expanding our family once again, but this time it's not gonna have 4 legs. I am 9 weeks pregnant, and the little bean, this week they're a pecan, and actually, I feel like this is meant to be, my switch days are Thursdays, the same day we have to lift the podcast, so...
That is fucking crazy.
They won't be a pecan by the time everybody's listening to this, but I don't know what they're gonna be. I could look at my app probably, but I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, don't spoil it for yourself. It's what you look forward to every week, so don't.
No, literally.
If you want to know, listeners, look it up yourself, okay?
Yeah, Google it. They told me specifically a southern pecan, and
they're kind of small. They're like that big.
Hold on. I could tell you the estimated size, but I got to go to my first ultrasound last Monday, and they're measuring was 8 weeks and 4 days, and they were measuring 8 weeks 5 days, so it's perfect. And I'm due on Thanksgiving Day, so we have a lot to be thankful for. But let me see if it tells me.
Well, I'm super excited for you.
Oh, I'm so excited. Oh, look at this cute picture.
I have no possibility of having a kid right now. Oh, fucking love it. You need to send that to me so I can post it with this episode.
Yes. Okay, I'll do it
I have
right now.
no possibilities of having a child right now, so I'm living vicariously through Miranda and her little bean.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for you.
I forgot to tell you. I forgot to go too, but our boss, your old boss, my current boss.
Oh yeah, guys, hold on. I quit. I quit my job in a little email. It's like, left, and that's why I'm in Texas. I forgot to mention that. I am currently unemployed, other than working for my father.
So if you guys could support the pod, so you can help Monica out.
Yeah, please.
Anyways, his girl texted me last weekend and was like, will you come to my baby shower? which was today at 2, and I forgot until like 1:30, but I couldn't really go. So now I feel really bad though, and I'm like, maybe I should go get a gift card, but I told her I would tell her, and then I forgot. I forgot all about it.
Why would she invite you?
I don't know, like, it was so nice. I don't know if it's because I just told them, like, I'm pregnant, and so she was trying to be like, I
Pregnant
don't
buddies.
know. Yeah, and I appreciate it, but, like, I had a week's notice, and then Matthew made plans with Kendo, because Kendo just bought, like, a similar, pistol to what Matthew has, so he wanted his help at the range, and anyways, doesn't matter, but, so he made plans, and so I was just hanging out, and then I fell asleep at, like, 2:05, but at 1:30 I was like, oh fuck, I had something to do today, and then I woke up and I remembered what it was, because I went in my messenger for some reason, and yeah, I was like, oh fuck, but she just reached out to me on Facebook, and I was
I mean, it's sweet, but you don't really know her, so I don't think you should feel bad for not going at all.
the one
like,
time I
get it.
met her was when I met her twice. Well, she'd been to my house twice. The first time was when they were dropping off the fridge, and she didn't get out of the car with her kid.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Which was fine, like, her kid was in it, but she didn't even, like, pop out to say, like, or wave or anything. She kept the windows up, like, everything. And then the second time, he broke the power cord to the fridge when he was moving it out of his house, so he brought it back, like, a couple days later, and she actually came inside that time, but their kid wasn't with them. And so that's, like, the only time I've actually met her. And I talked to her that one time on the phone that I had to call her about coats for the coat drive. Like, I'm not shit talking at all. Like, I think she's so sweet, she's so nice, and, like, all the stories are great. But, like, I was just like, yeah, let me talk to my husband. Like, oh, it was so... Anyways, I didn't go, and I feel kind of bad, but now I feel like maybe I should go get them, like, $25 to Target. I don't know.
I think that would be fine, but I don't think you should feel bad for not going. You don't know her.
And it
and,
was, like,
like-
Los Tres. Like, I was just...
What? Yeah, no. It's a no for me. No.
So, anyways.
No.
But yeah, I'm having a baby. To circle back to my big news. I'm having a baby in November. So,
Ugh, I'm so excited. I want to
I'm
buy them
so
like
excited.
all the cute little baby vans. Like, I see baby clothes and I'm like, oh, this would be perfect for Miranda. Even though my
No.
sister just
I
had a baby,
know.
and like, no, this would be good for Miranda, not for y'all.
yes. No, I'm so excited. Ugh, I can't wait. We scheduled the next 2 appointments, and the second one in June is our full anatomy scan. So if we don't know the gender through the blood work by then, we will.
Oh, how exciting!
I know. Matthew's sending
Well-
me reels.
So, guys, this week's episode, and I don't know if we're splitting this into 2. Do we want to? Like, this is just the tea update, and then the next one can be the Love is Blind reunion? Do we want to do
We
that, or do we just want to
can.
make it one?
I mean, we've only recorded for like 11 minutes so far, and I'm cutting part of it out, so we could talk about books we've read since we've last recorded, and then we could split it up maybe.
Oh, yeah, that works. And then I have
Okay.
literally, I think my tea list is longer than my Love is Blind reunion shit.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, so this week, it's just going to be like a life update, guys, and maybe some of the Love is Blind reunion. Not really sure yet.
Yes.
But I haven't talked to Miranda in, well, we text every once in a while, but like we
Yeah.
haven't talk in
Yeah.
a while, so I have so much fucking tea that I need to spill, and this is the best way because y'all get an episode out of it, and I know y'all like to listen to the tea, so that's
Oh,
what we're
yeah.
gonna be doing for this week, and then we'll see. So I don't know if you have tea. Do you have tea?
Not too much. I mean, I could tell you all. Matthew was so excited that we're pregnant that he told his whole unit without telling his unit by being like, oh yeah, we can go, but Miranda can't drink, and like things like that.
Oh,
And
just
like
like little
everybody
things?
had like figured it out. And then we like told one of his, I will keep names out of this, but we told
I don't
one
think
of
they
them.
would listen anyways.
No, but what if someone who knows them listens or something? I don't want
that's
them.
true.
We told we told someone at like 6 weeks. We were like, oh yeah, Miranda's pregnant, and he was like, oh nice. When I was back home on leave, I was with this girl, and she was like, oh yeah, I'm nauseous, blah blah blah, like I'm late, blah blah blah. And yeah, I think she was trying to trap me and blah blah blah. And I see him 2 weeks later at a softball game for the unit, and he was like, will you take a video of me swinging, like batting, for my girlfriend? And I was like, oh yeah, sure, who's your girlfriend? And it was that girl. And he's like saying like they're soulmates or whatever.
What the actual fuck? No. You just said she tried to trap you, and now y'all in love? She really trapped you. She really trapped you.
Like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, you were freaked out, like
Stressing out.
how could you do this to me? And now
He
y'all
said,
are
"A dependent?
meant to be destined for one another. But that's like the main tea that I would have told you at work, other than my family stuff. But I already sent you voice notes
Yeah.
about like our trip back home and everything. But anyways, go with your tea.
Okay, starting off very strong. My cousins, some of my favorite cousins here that I hang out with all the time, they don't listen to podcasts, so they're not going to hear this. They got into a car accident, like a really, really bad car accident. Their friend was driving, and he, like, was turning to get out of the lane, but he was going pretty fast. So he got out of that lane, and then another car came from the other side that was also switching. So he had to switch over really fast. Something happened with the tires. They ended up flying. Like, they were all the way on the end on the four lanes. And they managed to get all the way back, luckily not hitting any cars, back to that concrete median. They hit that. They flipped it, flipped a couple more times. They hit a Jeep on the other side once they, like, finally, like, stopped rolling. And the Jeep is fine. I mean, obviously, it's kind of bad, but
Right.
my youngest cousin, he was knocked unconscious. His sister, she got fucked up pretty bad. It was like a Mustang convertible, and they have like those little small triangle windows in the back, you know? So she had to kick that out because the car was upside down. She got out of there, she pulled out her brother, and she pulled out the friend. And then some guy stopped, and she thinks he was like a firefighter because he was like giving her directions or whatever. But she's also like a nurse technician, so she kind of knew what she was doing. She called her parents and was like, Mom, Dad, I got in an accident. Leo's unresponsive. And then she hung up. That's all she said. I just think it's so funny.
Oh my
But she says,
God.
like, the reason why she did that is so that they know, like, she's alive. She's taking care of the situation. And she didn't want to be on the phone for too long. Her brother's unconscious. Her parents have her location. So she was just like, I had to let them know. And then I had to hang up because I was fucking working. While she was with her brother, she realizes she can't feel her hand. Turns out this bitch broke her wrist in half.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. But it was like not gory or anything. It was just like the bone had like split or something. And there was like some nerve ending damage or whatever. And so they were rushed to the hospital. My younger cousin, he woke up once he got to the hospital. And he was fine. Like, they let him go that same night. Like, they took CTs of everything. He has, like, a really bad, like, bruised eye. Like, it's swollen. It was swollen shut. Like, this man could not see nothing. And then my cousin, she had the same thing, but with the opposite eye, where it was, like, really bad, really red. And then she had to get surgery on her arm or her wrist right away. Luckily, they made it. They're safe and sound now. They're perfectly
Good.
fine and healthy. The friend, the one that was driving, not a single motherfucking scratch. Nothing.
Stop.
Man came out
Stop.
perfectly fine. And then everybody else was worried about like internal organs and stuff. They did CTs. They did everything. Nothing.
Oh,
He was
my
perfectly
God.
fine. And then the T, my cousin, the one that broke her wrist, she wasn't even supposed to be there.
Oh.
She wasn't gonna, so they were gonna go meet up her with their other brother and his girlfriend and my cousin's boyfriend. So they were all gonna meet at the same place to eat, and on the way there, that's when they got in the car accident. But she wasn't even gonna go because she had already gone to eat earlier and she wasn't hungry. But then her brother convinced her, so she decided to go, and then that shit happened.
Oh my God, I'm dead. That's
Yeah.
insane.
But they're perfectly fine now. And then when I went to see her, she was crying. She was having a breakdown because she couldn't eat with just one hand. Like, she was struggling to just eat with one hand, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But they're fine. So there's that tea. Let me open up my notes app. Oh, I went on a date since I've been back.
Ooh.
It was pretty nice. We went to go watch Creed 3, and they were drinking he was drinking the strawberry rock and roll tequila we have, or you have now. He was
Come
drinking
get it.
And then I sounded like a fucking alcoholic when I pointed it out, because like, who the fuck would know that shit?
I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty distinct bottle.
Yeah, but it's like weird for somebody just to be like, oh, that's rock and roll strawberry tequila, like, you know.
Yeah.
But we went to IHOP afterwards. So, like, growing up in this town, there was one movie theater, and it was, I don't want to say it, because people are going to know where I live,
Yeah.
but there's one movie theater, and then there's an IHOP nearby, so, like, what kids would do on the weekend, your parents would give you $20, you would go to the Albertsons on the other side, get your snacks, go to the movies, and then afterwards you would go to IHOP. Guys, inflation, you can't do that with $20 no more. But so we would do that, and then that's like your night out, right? So like when I went to this movie theater, and then afterwards we went to IHOP, I was like, I feel like I'm fucking 16 again, living out my wildest dreams or whatever. Well, we made out. He's a good
Ooh.
kisser. This
Ooh.
man is like stupid tall. Like stupid tall. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm short or what it is, but he's stupid tall. I don't know how to explain it. So we were hugging, and I hugged him like around the neck, and I had to stand on my tippy toes. That's how
Oh
tall
my
this man
God.
was.
Oh my God.
It was great though. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wants it to work out, but part of me like is not sure about it because it's gonna be long distance, and I just, you know how I feel about that shit. I don't do it. But he's gonna be home for the summer, so I don't know what that means. I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll see. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But we've been
Absolutely.
talking a lot, texting a lot. That's my love life.
What is he doing? Furry is like, I don't know if he's like trying to get in there with Mav and Matthew or what, but he's like, I can just hear him like tick, 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 tick.
Let me
But I
in.
can't see him. I can't see him. And Goose keeps going like, and so I'm just like, yeah, what is he doing?
Oh.
Anyways.
At least I don't have to
that's
rile him up
exciting.
now when I go over. You know?
No,
every
literally.
single time.
Oh my God, every single time. It's still the same way when all of Matthew's friends show up, and then, oh my God. Ugh, so annoying.
Okay, well that's it for my love life, because y'all don't need to know all the details. Okay.
Fair
Also,
enough.
I need to pick up my birth control today, so I keep forgetting to do that. Anyways, I want to get started on shit talking my sister, Fernanda, which she doesn't listen to this podcast. Maybe we can scratch out her name, but she doesn't listen to this podcast, or at least I don't think so. She's told me before she doesn't, because she doesn't watch the shows. So if you're listening, sister, you're rude. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm gonna talk mad shit about you. But, for those of you listening, anything I say here, I would say in front of my sister. I am not someone that's gonna go talk shit behind someone's back. I'm gonna tell it straight to your face. I don't give a shit. I have nothing to hide. But, basically, me and my sister have been beefing. She's getting married at the end of this year. So we went to go try on dresses, at the now bankrupt David's Bridal. And while I was checking out, my older sister, she went and she checked out and she got her dress. And so I was like, oh, because my sister was just like walking away, and I was like, oh, I thought I was getting my dress too. And she was like, oh, do you have the money? Bitch, yeah, I have the money. Why would I not have the money?
What the fuck?
And so that came out to me, like, super fucked up. I was just like, do you think that just because, like, I don't have a job, I didn't save up money, that I don't have money to do this? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I have the money. I'm gonna pay it. Why wouldn't I? But I think to her, like, in her eyes, she sees me like a child still.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, at some point you have to recognize your sister's 24 years old. She makes good money, or made good money, and she saved up, and she knows she has all these expenses coming up with your wedding. Maybe she fucking saved around that shit.
Yeah.
Also,
'cause it hasn't been, like, just sprung on you during your unemployment. Like, this has been going on for, like, months and months and months. Like,
yeah. It's like, she told me to save around $200 to $400 for her bridesmaid party or whatever, her bachelorette party.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, cool, I have that saved up. Like, I know I have that expense coming up. I'm gonna put money aside towards it. Like, what are you expecting from me? Not to? Like,
yeah.
make it make sense. I had told you that she decided to talk shit about me while I was in the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I confronted her about that at her house, like, right before we were leaving, and I told her, like, hey, I don't appreciate you talking shit behind my back while I'm in the shower to my parents while I'm not there to defend myself.
Yeah.
Next time, do it when I'm around.
Yeah.
Like, I had literally just stepped away to go shower. Like, I was still taking my clothes off when I heard her talking shit.
Yeah.
But I confronted her about it, and I told her, and then guess what this bitch says? She says, you've been living off of parents for the past 6 years.
In what way?
Literally. I was like, that doesn't even make fucking sense. I literally said, I had a full-time job. I wasn't even living at home. The only time they helped me was when I had to pay $1,600 for my transmission to get fixed. But even that, I paid my parents back. So, like, what the fuck are you talking about? I've been living off of them for the past 6 years. Like, yeah, they helped me out in college, but I didn't go $18K in debt for no fucking reason. Like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? And also, I had a boyfriend in college, and he cheated on me a lot. And so what I did was I made him pay my rent. So
Yeah,
how the fuck was I living off my parents? Like, yeah, they would help me out here and there, but it was only when I asked, like, when I actually, like, really needed it. So I don't understand what her fucking problem is. Like, I don't understand how I've been living off of them for the past 6 years. Maybe right now I'm living off of them, but not in, like, I asked them for money. Like, I'm literally going to work with my dad, doing construction with him,
Mm-hmm.
and he pays me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. What the fuck? That's so annoying.
And I just, like, don't get it. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. She thinks I'm irresponsible. I just do whatever the fuck I want, which, like, I do in a responsible way.
Yeah, but you don't have anybody to answer to, like, so who cares? Like, it's just you.
Exactly. And then, what was it? The reason she was shit-talking before was because my dad decided to fix the AC in my truck. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to fix it. I wanted to wait until I got a job because I didn't mind. I smoke. I roll down the windows like a normal human being. So I didn't mind driving around with no AC, but my dad was like, no, let's fix it. Take your truck on Friday. We're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm upset at my other sister because she's the only other person that knew about it that would have told her. Because my parents wouldn't have told my sister because they know how she
Yeah.
gets.
Ugh.
But I'm paying my parents back for the AC to get fixed or whatever. But like my dad, at the same time, he's like, no, you don't have to pay me back. It's my truck. Like whenever you get your new car, it's my truck.
Yeah.
So anything that we put into it, it's going to benefit me later on because this is the truck I'm going to take to Mexico when we move. So like, I understand it. Let me see, what else do I have shit to talk about? Oh, I wrote, I don't know if she's upset that my parents didn't help her, but then she never asked them for help. So like,
Right.
it's kind of on her. Like, I don't know if she has like a problem that they like helping me or whatever, but it's not my fault that you never felt comfortable enough to ask our parents for help. Like, yeah, my parents don't make as much or whatever, but if they have what it takes to help you, they will help you. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know if she just never asked or what the fuck, but
Right.
That's-
No, I totally get that. Because that's like me being mad if, like, Sam still stays on mom and dad's phone bill after college. Like, the only reason I got off was because I was out of college and I was married. So that was like, my parents didn't even ask me to, but I was like, well, we're already paying for one phone because, of course, we're paying for Matthews. So I was like, let's just get the deal and have the 2 lines with AT&T or whatever was running at the time. Like, I told them I'm getting off your phone plan. And I wanted to upgrade. And my dad, I love him, but he's kind of like, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
oh yeah.
So he's not
I
like
get it.
oh, you can upgrade your phone type of guy. Like he will, don't get me wrong. Like him and my mom just got their upgrade. But, and so I just wanted to be able to do whatever I wanted whenever I wanted. So I got off. That's like me being pissed though that Sam doesn't or whatever. Like,
It doesn't
who
make any
cares?
sense.
Like that
makes
was
no
my
sense.
choice because I got married fast, young, whatever, and yeah. Oh, anyways, that is so
But it's just-
fucking annoying. Like,
That's what I'm
what the
saying.
fuck?
And it's like the fact that I still have to like be nice to her or whatever and all this other shit, like, and then so my other cousin's turning 16. My parents are like godparents for something. But that's a whole
beefing. He's fucking swinging on her. Hold on. Keep talking.
But my cousin's turning 15 and my parents are going to be one of her godparents for it. That's a long story.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, Matthew is aggressive.
So annoying.
But I think I did tell you that story about my cousin and like what happened with her family. But that's
Yeah.
a long story.
Okay, I'm
But I
saying
wanted to get her a Pandora bracelet because she saw mine and she said she really liked it. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Like, let me go buy the bracelet, whatever. And my mom, because I had told my sisters about it, I was like, I'll buy the bracelet because the bracelet's usually like the most expensive part. It's like $100 to like just depending. And then my sisters, I told them, I was like, I can get a charm. Each of y'all can just buy a charm and we'll put it on the bracelet for her. And they said, okay, cool. So I went and bought the bracelet. It was like $300. And my mom told me to split it in 5. But I was like, no, because I'm taking out $100 that I wanted to pay for the bracelet. So with like taxes and everything, I ended up paying like $150 out of it. And so my mom was just like, well, just split the rest in 4 and the rest of us will pay you. So it's $50, right? 200 divided by 50.
yeah.
I texted Fernanda about it. I was like, hey, your portion of the gift is $50. Guess who hasn't sent me the money yet? Bitch.
Sus.
It's $50. I'm broke, and you're not gonna send me my $50?
Yeah.
That'd be fucking rude. And then you should have budgeted for it. You knew her birthday present was coming up. You knew I was gonna buy it. I had literally just gotten off the phone with her, asking her how much she was willing to spend, and she said 60. So I was like, okay, cool. I'll keep it under, just to be on the safe side. So I did, and then now she doesn't want to pay me back. Which, like, I don't care. Like,
Rude.
I like the bracelet. I like giving gifts like that.
Oh yeah.
But if you're already gonna say that, like, you're gonna pay $50 or $60,
Yeah.
didn't you budget for it?
Yeah. Yeah,
God,
she was
you're
all on you
responsible.
about a budget. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But anyways, that's enough sister tea. Yeah, I haven't really done much other than that. We forgot to do book tea. That's
I
what we
know,
forgot.
but it's okay. It's kind of a messed up episode anyways, so it
Yeah.
doesn't have
Well,
a focus.
it's just me talking mad shit 24/7, y'all.
I know, I don't have that much going on. Like
But that's
I
good
told
for
you all,
you.
like my
You shouldn't be
I
having
know.
a lot of stuff going on right now. You have a lot to focus on. Don't waste your
know.
energy on these peasants like I have to.
Yeah, no, literally. Ugh. No, I want to tell you so much work stuff, but like I can't on
Yeah,
here.
I understand.
But just to like, what the fuck is going on? Ugh.
I can't even imagine, to be honest. Like, I don't think I would have lasted there much longer.
No, I want to leave so bad, but at this point, I'm just gonna I don't think anybody's gonna listen to this. I'm just gonna cash in on the maternity leave and not come back. Like,
Oh, 100%.
I
Understandable.
asked, because that's how I told the two in HR. I went in and I was like, whatever. I was like, hey, I was just wondering if you would tell me what maternity leave is like. And one of them, I'm trying to think. Okay, Kay, like, okay. She was like, she started answering my question, like, oh, it's great, blah, blah, blah. And then A was like, no, shut the fuck up. Like, she knew exactly what I was doing. Like, she cut her off. I was like, no way. Why do you tell us? And then, C from Op Support.
See?
Mm-hmm.
I want to say yes, but I don't know. Just keep going.
She came in and was like, you're just gonna post it on Facebook like that and you're not gonna tell anybody? And I was like, we literally went to our 8-week ultrasound and we came home, we told our family, and we're like, we just want to tell everybody. So we just posted the picture. Like
there was just supposed to tell everybody at work first in secret? No.
What do I
What
owe
the fuck?
any of these people? Like,
Literally.
I only told Carlos and Paul because I got a phone call when I was walking out. I wasn't thinking about it, but as the door was shutting behind me, I was like, yeah, well, I'm 6 weeks right now. So when I came back in, Paul and Carlos were like, did I hear what I thought I heard? And I was like, oh, fuck, yeah. So, like, but I don't really care. Like, I'm going to have to explain to them why, like, I had a doctor's appointment on Monday, had to go get blood work on Friday, and then I have to go to a different doctor's appointment, like, because I had to get established at my referral and then finish on base, all within, like, a week. So, like, it's sus.
But also, they're like your closest coworkers, so it's like,
Yeah.
It would
I
be
told
something
you.
that you-
I told you
yeah.
the day I found out.
oh, 100%. It was a good thing too, bitch. I loved
Yes.
it, okay?
Yes.
And you had to tell me in person.
No.
I was literally leaving that weekend.
No, literally. I would have been so sad, like, if I was like, oh, I'll just wait in case it's a false positive. Because I was like, I had no spotting, no signs, like, on top of the fact that the test, it went positive so fast that morning that I was like, okay, I have to tell her because I'm like, I just feel like, but
then
I tried
even
not
if
to
it
tell
was
anyone else till we saw
Yeah.
the baby. Like,
Yeah, but even if it was a false positive, like, I'm here to support you. Fucking,
Yeah.
Let's go. I would fucking drive down and go to Scooters if it was a fucking false positive. Like, get smashed
literally.
real quick.
literally. So, anyways, but I had to, and then, yeah, but I was just like, what the fuck? So, I don't think anybody watches
I don't think
or
so
listens to
either.
our podcast, but I'm like,
There might
ugh,
be
I
like
don't
one
wanna-
person, but
I know.
they're a
But-
friend, so I don't think it would be
Yeah.
that serious.
Well, and then even Sam was way cooler about, because she called me on Tuesday to talk work, and then she's like, oh, by the way, congratulations. Like, she was so cool about it. And, like, this person that we barely get along with, who's starting beef over the shared fridge,
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, no.
what do I owe
No.
you? Like, anyways, so that's like my big drama, and then I have to catch you up on all things. Oh, and then this, I'm gonna say it because I don't really care. Apparently, we interviewed like 2 or 3 people for your spot, and all of a sudden, I was out on that Monday because I took a half day. Carlos was on the phone with somebody and was telling them, Paul was telling me that he was telling them on the phone that he said something about like what's it called? Outsourcing social media. Yeah.
Oh, so apparently now my job was hard when apparently it wasn't.
Yeah. And I was just like, I want them to so bad, because what they think is going to happen when they outsource this is not going to happen. Like this bullshit that I need to tell you about from this week, it's not going to fly when you outsource it. Like, it's not how it works.
No. And then with
When it's-
outsourcing, it's a lot of like scheduling and having things prepared in advance, and you can't do it last minute.
Nope.
Not at all.
Nope. They think it's going to solve all of their problems, but these last minute poster changes and everything else that they do to me, they're never going to be able to do. And it's going to be like, oh yeah, so-and-so signed off on it, so project's closed. And then so-and-so over here is going to be like, well, I never saw it.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, it's done. We got the approval from the one person that was like assigned to the approval.
Yeah.
So, last thing. Remember all the debit cards we did?
Yeah.
They pulled ones from 2014 and just brought those back. I'm not kidding you. Our debit card gallery is our current cards minus one. Because, we replaced the sunflower one with the sunflower one I made. Because they're real sunflowers. And, then, I'm sorry. I'm from
You're right,
Kansas,
but it's
okay?
just so
But
funny.
they called it the sunflower card. I'm like, it's fucking daisies or some
Yeah,
bullshit.
no.
And now we have like 18 cards, and it's like half and half. But they did let us put the vertical ones in that we made.
That's nice.
But it's
At
the
least you had,
vertical
like, that
ones and
tiny
the
win.
sunflower one. That's all we get out of all the work we did.
It's so
Yeah.
frustrating.
And I need to send you the ones that they picked. Like, one looks like the fucking generic Windows startup screen. There's like a cheetah print one.
I would get a cheetah print one. Not gonna lie. I am
But
in my
it's like
Snooki
the fur.
era.
The fur. Like, it looks like the fur of the cheetah. It's so...
No.
I just... Look, okay, it's still better than, like, FSMBs when their sheet was... I'll have to bleep that, but... when their sheet was passed around,
Yeah.
but it was not much. Like,
It's just so hard because we worked so hard on it.
We did.
And, like, we did all our part, and then regardless, at the end of the day, they're gonna go with whatever they want. They're not gonna take
which
any
is
opinions.
fine. But it was like, I guess to me, what was upsetting the most is how much back and forth we did with Jason and with each other. And, oh God, I'll have to bleep another name.
No, but I
Just
understand.
to have
like,
it be like, well, can we see what we had? And then I thought they were going to come to us and be like, we like this cheetah print one. And then I was going to be able to modernize it, or Paul or whoever on our marketing team wanted to redesign it would be able to redesign. No, then they just brought, like, why didn't we just do that from the beginning? Why did we not just look at the cards from the beginning? Like, that
'Cause
was what
we-
was so hard to deal with.
I want to say y'all had been working. Well, I worked on it too, so we had been working on it since what, like December,
Yeah.
January.
Yeah.
It's freaking rough.
It sucks so much. But it is what it is, and
Work doesn't stress me out anymore while I work with my dad.
oh yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of back pain, not gonna lie, but like I'm not used to doing like hard labor, so it's understandable. And like slowly it's getting better, but I don't recommend, but I do recommend because it's like a lot of mindless work. Like once you know what you're doing, you don't really have to pay attention that much. It's like a repetitive process. So I can come up with the most delusional fucking stories in my mind, and it's amazing. Like literally, my imagination has never been this wild. I'm like not as tired to interact with people anymore. Like
Yeah, I bet.
before, it was very hard to like want to interact with family, like wanting to go to the stores, you have to see people and shit like that. Like I'm just physically tired when I get home now and not like emotionally drained or anything. So I can go out and I'm perfectly fine. Like that day I went on my date, like it was really nice. I got home at like 8 p.m. from work and I showered, got ready and everything. And like I had a good fucking time. Like I was more motivated to go out and spend time with people because I spent all day with my father. Like
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to people. Let me tell him my delusional stories, you know?
Right. No, exactly. Ugh. So
yeah.
nice.
Honestly.
So nice.
And then like I get 2 days on, 2 days on, a day off. And it's like fucking amazing because it lines up with the weekend anyway. And my dad doesn't work Sundays. So like I'm off today and I'm off tomorrow. So like
Nice.
the whole weekend. What am I going to do? I don't know. I don't have friends. I need to find some.
I'm working on that one.
I'm trying. But I think that's it for my tea.
Yeah. Like I said, mine's just mostly work, but that's not bad. That's not bad. Because I leave it there at the end of the day. Like, you can't escape your family drama.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I can. I just walk away.
Well, yeah.
Oh, we went garage sale shopping with my sister that day. We had the shit talking fight. And my room is kind of 70s. I showed you my wall that I painted or whatever. And then at this garage sale, they had this green ashtray. I don't know if you can see the green. It's really nice. Like, I just want it. I just look nice. I want to put my
Yeah.
trinkets in it. It's for
Yeah.
my trinkets. And then it came with like another like card thing, like to hold like a deck of cards. But I need to buy one that looks very 70s. But it came with this one also. It was $1. And my sister was like fighting me about it. And she was like, you're not supposed to smoke inside. I was like, why would I smoke a fucking cigarette indoors?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Like,
Just because it's
No.
an ashtray doesn't mean that's what you have to use it for. Even if you are
Yeah.
a smoker. Like,
yeah. I was literally like, no, I want it to match my walls. And then she was like, what are you talking about, your walls? And then it hit me. She hasn't been to our house since like I started painting, like barely painting. So she hasn't seen my wall. She doesn't know anything about me. And it made me realize like the way my sister knows nothing about me.
Yeah.
Like if we were to sit down and like do one of those like newlywed games, she would get every single fucking question wrong.
right. I mean,
But sisters, gotta love them.
oh yeah.
But-
I'm glad I only have the one.
Yeah. If she was like, if we weren't sisters, I don't think I would be her friend, which is kind of
Yeah.
mean to say, but
Oh God!
I mean, that's all I can say.
right.
But that's it for my tea. I don't think you have any more tea unless you do.
No.
I can talk about my book now at the end.
Yeah.
Since
I have
this is
book
a
I can
funky
talk
one.
about.
Yeah, since this is a funky one. So, I am currently reading Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton. It's taking me forever to read this because I was kind of in like in a non-reading mood. Like, I had unpacked everything. I did the best I could, okay? And I just was in a funk and I couldn't fucking read. And it was hard to get into it. And then after a long day of work, like,
Yeah.
you're physically exhausted. I don't want to fucking read a book. I'm going to sleep. Literally every single day on the drive home, I'm asleep. So, like, and then my dad, he's like, oh, if you don't want to wake up early, because my dad wakes up at 6:30, and that's when he wakes me up. He's like, if you don't want to wake up early, you don't have to. Like, just wake up whenever you want to, and then just join me and drive there. And I was like, drive there? No, I can sleep in the car on the way there. You're driving me. I'll wake up at 6:30 if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to fucking do. So, anyways, back to the book. It's kind of weird. It's a lot more on the dark side. I don't think it would be... I wouldn't recommend you this book. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't think I want... It's all over my For You page, but the stuff I see, I'm like, I don't think this one's for me.
It's a lot darker than... Well, no. I've read books that are darker and go more in depth about things, which, like, the way people were warning about this book, which I understand people's triggers are a lot different, but for me, like, this was it's kind of, I haven't finished it yet, but it's a little more vanilla compared to some of the other books I've read. which is kind of saying a lot because this one is very like 18 plus, like triggers like everywhere. Which like I understand for some people it could be a lot, but compared to some of the other books, I thought it was going to be like the darkest book I read, but it's not. But spoiler alert. Basically, this book is about a girl, and she's a writer, and her best friend is like a IT specialist. She like hacks people for a living. And her grandma, her nana, she dies and leaves her the house that her nana's father built for her mother, which her name is Gigi, and they built it in like the 1930s, so it's like an old Victorian house, really big, really nice. But she discovers, the girl in the book, she discovers that her grandmother, Gigi, was murdered in the house. Murdered!
Ew.
Yeah, and she didn't know about
Bad
it.
vibes.
And her nana lived in that house and didn't know that she, like, her grandma never told her that her mother had died in that house. But her grandmother dies, and she leaves the girl the house. Like, that's what she gives her or whatever. Or she wrote it in her will. And so she moves back into the house, she's fixing it up, and that's when she discovers her grandma was murdered there. And so now she's trying to, like, figure out why or who killed her grandmother, because it's a cold case. Nobody knows why she was murdered.
Spill the tea.
So basically she goes into the attic and she finds like a whole something happens.
Look at all these Facebook notifications. Leave me alone. No, I'm just kidding. Please keep bidding on my stuff.
Boost.
But if we could just chill out on the notifications.
Give me a minute, please.
Okay, sorry.
But basically she's like looking around. Oh, something happens. Some guy comes over. He's mad that she won't sleep with him. He punches a hole in the wall. Like, that's how mad this guy is. And because basically she's done this to him before where she's like, oh yeah, let's get it on. And then she's like, never mind. And so he got upset about that. And he punched a hole in the wall.
Okay, Andy Bernard.
Oh my god. Why had I not done that in my head? Fucking hilarious. That's a good one.
Don't lick your little paws.
But when he put the hole in the wall, she like looks in it to see like what the fuck is there, and she sees some light in the wall. Okay. And then so she figures out where the light's coming from, and it's like behind a picture frame, so it doesn't really make sense. Like, why is it there? She takes down the picture frame. Guess what she finds? What? A lock. A little combination, a safe in the wall. She doesn't know how to open it because obviously it's like a combination one. So she's like, what the fuck? She just grabs a crowbar. Homegirl's strong as fuck apparently. She opens it. She pops it open. And what she finds inside is, like, she thinks she's going to find money, all this other shit. No. She finds Gigi's diary. The woman that was murdered in that house's diary.
Oh my god, what are the fucking odds?
Yeah. So, it's 3 diaries. Like, 3 diaries that are, like, full of stuff. But basically, in the diaries, she writes about the stalker that she has. Now, he's been stalking her, like, watching her, like, just watching over her. And he comes in, and literally, it just, somehow she forms, like, a love connection with her stalker to the point where she wants to leave her husband to be with the stalker. It doesn't really make sense. Like, that part's a little sus to me. But basically,
ew.
Her husband started to be very aggressive. He was in a lot of gambling debt, and the stalker paid it off. Like, he paid off all the debts. Like, the stalker didn't care that she was with her husband because he loved her, and he wanted her. So he paid off all of the gambling debt. He was also in love with her. And it's fucking crazy. Like, I understand why she fell in love with him. Like, he just wanted her to be okay. Like, He didn't want to push anything further. I mean, I know stalking is weird, and I'm not saying, like, oh, stalk me. Don't thank you. But, like, where it ended up being was a romantic place where he wanted to take care of her, and it just happened that that's the only way he knew how to show her how he felt about her, which, not okay. Please. Everything needs to be consensual.
Yeah.
But basically, towards the end, it did get consensual, and they end up falling in love. John finds out she's having an affair, or he thinks she's having an affair. She's lying about it to him, her husband. And in the notes, there's the last journal, there's a date, like, in the notes at the top, to the day before she was murdered. Yeah.
What?
And she reads the last page, and basically she's saying, like, oh, John, the grandma, or Gigi is saying, John has gotten super aggressive, like, I don't know what's going to happen anymore, all this other stuff. Like, she's super worried about her husband, and she's like, I don't know if I should tell Rolando. Rolando's her stalker. She finally figures out his name. And she just doesn't know what to do. Well, she flips the page to go to the next entry. It's been ripped out. Ripped out of the diary.
Where is
Somebody's
it?
trying to... Oh,
Maverick,
I'll
come
tell
on.
you.
You may come in.
But basically, she thinks there's ghosts in the house now. Like, the girl in the book, she thinks
Okay.
there's ghosts in the house. Understandable. She hears some noises in the attic. Right?
Okay.
Some noise in the attic. She's like, what the fuck is going on? So she gets her friend, and they go up there, and they start cleaning out all of her grandma's stuff, because when her grandma died, the people just put everything up in the attic. So they're going through it, and at the end of the wall, a piece, like, of wood, like, creaks down, and they're like, what the fuck? So she looks in it with her little flashlight on her phone, because it specifically says that. And
Okay.
she finds the page that was ripped out of her diary. Of Gigi's diary. She finds the last page that was ripped
Okay.
out. She's reading it. She's like, John is super mad today. I don't know what's going to happen. If anything happens to me, it was. And then it stops. Like, she just writes, it was. ... It was who? Who did
Yeah.
this? Was it John? Was it Rolando? Her stalker? Who the fuck was it? And then, next to this diary entry that was ripped out, she finds another piece of paper saying, it says, I'm so sorry this happened to you. I love you. Who wrote on this extra piece of paper? Who wrote that?
Yeah.
Was it her stalker? Was it her husband? Who the fuck
Yeah.
knows? Now, while all of this is happening and she's investigating her her great grandmother's death, she herself has a stalker, and this is where it gets dark. Yeah. So I'm conflicted of if, like, I like the stalker, if I don't like the stalker, because he's like a really big hacker. He owns this organization called Z, and what they do is they take down, like, government officials and lawyers and, like, people higher up, or people that, like, just deal with bad shit, like people in mafias and stuff. But he doesn't care about drugs. He doesn't care if people are trafficking drugs or whatever. What he cares about is taking care of kids that have been put into the sex slave trade. So motherfucker kills pedophiles. So, like, good job for him.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm conflicted, because he's stalking the girl in the book just like her grandmother had a stalker. And it's kind of like dual point of view sometimes it's not. But she has a guy come over, he knocks on the door, and then the guy is like, oh, the guy that punched the hole in the wall? So the stalker knocked on the door really hard, and he was like, are you expecting anybody? And she's like, no. And she's like, oh, maybe I should go check it out, or whatever. And instead of being a gentleman and being like, no, I'll check it out, you're not expecting company, he makes her go. He's like, you can go.
Oh my god.
So it's a good thing she didn't do it with him, because, like,
Yeah.
child.
What the fuck?
No. So immature. Open the fucking goddamn door. Like, ugh. And they're punching a hole in the wall. Ugh. But basically, it happens again. She goes out to a club. She's dancing. She meets this guy. He invites her to, like, their little private room. And then she takes him to the house, to the grandma's house. There's banging on the door, like loud banging. And this time the guy's like, no, I'll take care of it. He pulls a gun out from his backside, which she didn't know he had on him, even though she was dancing all up on him. He pulls the gun out and he's like, I'll check it for you.
What?
He like opens the front door. He goes outside and he's like checking or whatever. And then nothing. Silence. Nothing's happening. Nobody's there. Nothing. So the door's open because he just opened it. So she's like, what the fuck? And so she goes out there to go see what's going on. He's gone. Disappeared. Gone. And on the floor is a rose covered in blood. And then it says like, you're not allowed to get with other men or some shit like that. Like something like, don't do this again or something worse is going to happen. Or it says like, don't call the police. I don't know. Some weird shit. She calls the cops. All this other shit happens. But the stalker's thing is that he leaves roses for her whenever he comes to like visit her.
Okay.
That's like his thing. And then the next day, she doesn't really believe that like he killed the guy, right? Guess what is delivered to her front doorstep?
What?
The stalker cut off his hands and dropped them off at her doorstep.
Ew.
And was like, this is what you get for not believing me.
Ew.
Fucking crazy. Crazy bonkers, right? Well, then we find out, because the stalker's like, he wasn't good for you. He was going to hurt you. That's why I did that to him. What does he mean? Apparently, this guy was like a drug lord or something. And his ex-wife had gone to the hospital because she was beaten so bad by him. She was put in a coma. Yeah. And apparently, the guy would like be like enticing to women and like he would go over to their houses or whatever. But then the next day when he would leave, the girls would have really bad bruises. They'd be bleeding. Like they were beat. Like at first he was like lovey-dovey or whatever, trying to like seduce them. And then after he had them, he would abuse them. And so once she found that out, she was like, I mean, I'm kind of okay that he did that. I mean, he didn't have to kill him, but I'm glad that he stopped it from happening. And then Stalker breaks into her house. Well, I mean, he's been doing it for a while, but he breaks in again. And guess what he does? This is, spoiler alert, TMI. There's a lot. Triggers everywhere right here, okay? He fucks her with a gun.
Ew. Oh my god.
I don't remember how it happened, but that's what ends up happening. She's like super turned on by it, which like, no,
To each
not
their
for
own.
me. Yeah,
Each
yeah.
their own.
If that's what you're into, go ahead and do it. Just not to me. But that happens, and then I'm trying to think of like what else he does. But that's basically all he does. He just stands outside her window and looks at her, like, and he just drops off roses. That's mainly like as I've gotten up to here. Like,
Okay.
he hacks her security cameras.
Okay.
But like he hasn't done anything like bad to her. To other people, yes. To her, no. But so now I'm at the point where he's trying to go after the senator because this video was released about this senator. It was leaked. This video was leaked, and it was about this. He only saw one face, and it was the senator, and he was performing a ritual in which they sacrificed a child.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. And so, he's working on taking down this senator whose name is Mark. So, he's trying to befriend him and to get close to him so he can figure out who the other people were in that video. Because you can only tell one person clearly, right? Mm-hmm. Well, he's befriending him. He accidentally bumps into him in the street, and he was like stalking, he was in the process of stalking Homegirl, and he bumps into Mark, and Mark's like, oh, let's stop by for a thing to eat or whatever, like a drink, and he suggests the bar that she's in, like working on her manuscript because she's an author. And he's like, no, let's not go in there. Like, he wants to keep Mark away from her. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mark ends up just walking over there, so he's like, fuck, now I have to go in. And this is the first time they see each other, her stalker and her see each other in, like, a normal setting. Like, outdoors. Like, not in her house, you know?
Okay.
So, him and Mark are sitting there, like, talking to each other, like, across from each other. And Mark is being a fucking creep, checking out underage girls.
Ew.
And Z is like, this is disgusting. Like, what the fuck? Like, if I could murder him right now, if I could murder him right now, I would. But I can't. I need to find these other guys. Mm-hmm. Well, Mark's eye catches a little something about the girl. He's like, ooh, she look good. So he's like talking about her. Mark is disgusting. He takes a picture of her, and that's when Zayd's like, oh, that's my girlfriend. Can you please delete that picture?
Okay.
And then Mark is like, oh, what the fuck? Like, that's your girlfriend? Yeah, I'll delete the picture. I didn't know you had a girlfriend. I didn't know anything about that. All this other shit. Right? Mm-hmm. Well, Z is like, I'm going to hack his phone later to make sure that fucking picture is completely off his phone, because if he's trying to trick me and just whatever. Anyways. So Mark is like, oh, let's go over there so you can introduce me. This is the first time they're speaking to each other in a normal setting because of this. And so they introduce each other. And then Z, his real name is Zayd, but he goes by Zach to this Mark guy. And so she's confused because she knows his name at this point. So they're talking or whatever. And she's just going along with it. And then she says her last name, or he says his last name. And apparently his dad used to be the sheriff of the town of where Gigi was murdered. So she was like, oh, now I can maybe get some information about what happened to my grandma here, right? So Mark invites them to this dinner party. They're at this dinner party. They sneak out of the room. They go into this private theater. They do the nasty in there. And then they come back out, and they're talking to Mark. And Mark is basically telling him, like, some other stuff about the grandma, and, like, now it's starting to sound like his dad might have been on it, because his dad, the sheriff, was best friends with John, Gigi's husband.
Oh my god.
So, like, and apparently his dad was pretty upset that Gigi was having an affair on him. So, why was he upset? Like,
yeah.
I understand it's your best friend, like, getting upset, but, like, he was, like, upset. So she's trying to figure that out. But that's where I've been so far. And then, like, I don't know how I feel about the book. It's not as dark as the other books I've read, but I don't think you would like it.
Yeah.
Part of me doesn't really like it. I just want to finish reading it so I can get on to the next book. But
yeah.
It's darker than the stuff you normally read, but it's not as dark as the stuff as I've read. And, like, based on, like, the trigger warnings and stuff, to me, I don't know if it's going to get worse. I'm, like, 70% done. I don't know if it's going to get worse in this next 30%, but it doesn't seem to, because they're just now opening, like, Zayd is now opening up to her. Like, he went on this mission to save these kids, and before he could get in, this little girl was, like, screaming and crying, trying to fight her way out of being, like, sold into the sex slave, right? Like, to being sold. And the guy that was holding her shot her because she wouldn't shut up, and so he was super upset about that. He was like, oh, I lost her. Like, her and him are starting to get, like, closer, more personal, and he was, like, super upset about it. So, like, I don't think it could get any worse from here, other than, like, the senator being a fucking child molester and a fucking creep. You know? Like, that's the only way I could see it getting worse, unless, like, she gets kidnapped or some shit like that. Like, but that, to me, is, like, a basic in the books I read, so to me, that's not that bad. There are definite trigger warnings for this book. So, read those before you read the book, or before you buy the book, because this book right here, $25.
Oh, shit.
The second book in the series, $30.
Oh,
did I buy it? Yes. But I needed it for my shelf, okay? But And then after I bought it, guess what I figured out?
What?
It's on Kindle Unlimited.
Oof. Ooh.
Yeah, but I was on a date at Barnes and Noble, so.
Same.
But it's a good book. I don't know if I would recommend it because it's not one of my favorite reads. It's a good book. Oh, randomly, things I don't like so far. Man has a random Southern accent. He's
my
not from the
God.
South. He's not from the South.
What?
It just comes out of nowhere. I don't understand it. I'm gonna need it to stop. Literally, I was reading it and he said, "Say y'all" or something like that, like something very Southern. And I closed the book. I was like, "What is this?" No,
No kidding. What the fuck?
or at least I don't think he's from the South, unless like I need to go back and reread, which I'm not gonna do. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you have free time, if you have the money, maybe read it. If you're into the darker books, I've read a book similar like this but he's not a stalker. But like guys like fight child molesters, or like they're trying to take them down, and it was way more interesting than this one.
Yeah.
I'll put it on the Instagram once I remember what the book is called, but
There we go.
yeah. I don't think I would recommend this book. But I'm still gonna read it and the next
Someone
one.
commented on my Kindle, my extra large, and was like, "What are the exact dimensions?" Who the fuck cares?
You want me to
It's
pull out a measuring
XL. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting on because it's the Retriever brand from Tractor Supply. So I'm getting on their website right now.
tape? I would just take a screenshot
like,
of it.
Give
Be
me
like,
a
it's
sec."
this one from Tractor Supply.
Yeah, but I did not pay $100 for it, so. Okay. I was just like,
I'm just
"Bleh."
watching the video. I'm beefing up in there.
Wait for the end.
The way he smacked her down.
I was like,
Oh.
okay, beefing.
But yeah, that's it for my book tea. I don't think I've read any other book. I started reading the Seven Husbands one, but I don't really like reading two books at once.
No, I
So I was like,
understand
let
that.
me just finish this one and get it over with. And
Yeah.
I'll probably read that one before I read the next one. Oh, I am excited though because I got the book Mindhunter because I had watched the series on Netflix, and it's a really good series. It's about this guy. They're trying to basically profile like serial killers, and so they go and do interviews about people. And then while I was watching the intro credits, it said based on a book, so I bought the book.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna be reading. Yeah.
Let's see. I read The Seven Husbands, and I won't talk about it until you read it, but I cannot recommend it enough. It's definitely, like, not, I don't want to say it's not what I thought it was going to be, but, like, it wasn't. Like, in a way, like, it's, like, for the genre, it's, like, 100%, you know, but, like, by the end, I was like, oh my god, this is not what I thought. Like, I was crying a little bit. That's what I have going on.
I think we should take a short break because I really have to pee.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how you get the recording. So that works for me.
Yeah, and then we can come back and talk about.
Because I'd like to stop it and start a new one for the second episode.
That would make more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but this is it for this week's episode, guys. Next week's gonna be a little bit short because we're just talking about the Love Is Blind reunion.
Yes.
I don't really have any more books I have to talk about next week.
I could
that's
split
all
the
we're gonna-
book tee up too. I could
Oh,
put
that's
mine
true.
in next week's. Okay.
How long is this so far?
124 minutes. Or wait, no, an hour and 24. Okay. Sorry, I missed the little colon. Yeah.
But yeah,
'cause
you
I got a
can
little bit
take
to
it out.
cut, and then I'll just move my book tea.
Okay, that works.
Okay.
But anyways, thank y'all for listening. We're so sorry that it took us a while to re-upload.
Yes.
We've been going through a lot. There's a lot of major changes that have been happening to our lives.
Yes.
And while exciting, it does take us away from this and being able to sit down and kind of
Yeah.
figure out what we're gonna do. Also, I want to suggest that we watch Scandal instead of A Secret Life of an American
Literally, we can
Teenager.
watch anything besides Secret
Okay.
Life. I can't go back to it. I just can't.
Honestly, I think we should just skip to the last season, not watch anything
Okay.
in between, and then just try to connect the dots ourselves.
I love it. I love
Okay.
it.
So we can do
I
that.
mean, we can read the season synopsises too, because I have the episodes, but I could just get the season ones until
Ooh.
season for the in betweens. Yeah.
But I want to do that after, because I want to connect the dots myself
Okay,
and
fair
see
enough.
what happened.
Fair
because
enough.
once you,
I'm
I
on
think
board.
it was because you sent me that TikTok about the season finale or the final season, that cut.
Yes,
and
the
I was
trailer.
like, what? Like the tea in this? I want to know. But I just want to
Yes.
watch the last season. That's it. I don't want to watch anything else. I don't want to watch Amy fucking whine and bitch about
No.
her having a kid when she didn't have to have it.
No.
But yeah, that is it for this week's episode, guys. Thank y'all for tuning back in.
Yes.
Hopefully, we get back to our regular posting schedule. Might be a little bit difficult because, like we said, I no longer live in the same town as Miranda.
Yeah.
So
At
it's
least
kind of
a
hard.
new regular. I feel like we can establish a new regular.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, this makes it a lot easier because I can be on time for this. You know what I
I'm
mean?
dead. Yeah.
I can be on time for this.
I'm dead.
And this is definitely something that we can just do during the week also.
Yeah.
Not like before we kind of have to schedule out a weekend so we could do it. This, honestly, we can keep it short from now on and just do 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's very easy now. I just have to set up my little ring light, open my laptop, and that's it. Connect my tiny
Agreed.
microphone.
Agreed.
But yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for hanging in and listening to all our tea. If you have any tea you want to spill, DM us. You can let us know on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We don't have a Twitter. Why do I still do that? And on Facebook. Or you can DM us individually if you want names cut out. We can do that.
Yes.
Just spill the tea. This is called What the Fuck Is This Podcast? That's what we're going to talk about. What the fuck is on with these books? What the fuck is going on with these shows? What the fuck is going on with their lives? And we just want to know what's going
Absolutely.
on. We have no news to share because our news was already what the fuck enough. So yeah, we will catch y'all next week. Tune in. And yeah. Bye y'all.
Bye.
I gotta pee.